Yeah, no. Yeah, I think I had it on the, hold on. Let me see if I can get that straightened out. Hold on. Okay, we're going to get started in just a sec. I've got guests coming, so I've got to do some quick stuff here. Let's see if I can.
Professor, do we
Yes.
need to scan the QR code?
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to need to do that today.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me call our guest back here. Okay, here we go. Well, welcome everybody. This is our last session together. This is what we call presentation day. I'm very excited to see that. Before we get started, I wanted to give some comments out about the class and how I think it went this term. I think I would have far much wanted to do this in person. And getting to know this through Zoom. I think there was a couple, I did a report, I was asked to comment about how I thought it went. And I did think that as we do this remote teaching, that being able to break the class up into groups and also is something that you really can't do effectively in person. So I thought that was good. The other thing, it was easy to record the lectures, et cetera, et cetera. I think the other point that I think was helpful in this class is it seemed to be much easier to get guest speakers involved, and that seemed to be easier. But I think I would have preferred to do it in person, of course, but I think we made the best of it. The other thing I want to comment on is I think it was really important the way we did I think it's really important the project that we did this term, because it paralleled quite nicely with the COVID virus and what we're seeing in the market that's developing now. And as you see the market developing, what's happened now is as we begin to open up, market forces will now take over, and what will happen is people will try to compete for getting people to lured back to restaurants and all these issues. But the market will start demanding stuff. In other words, the market will be testing the social distancing, and we'll be seeing how all this behaves in real time. And you'll see how quickly, when market forces occur and when market forces are allowed to behave, how quickly things can adapt and move and change. It's really when governments, for example, the 6 foot distancing rule is something that was kind of a standard thing. And the question now remains is what is that product going to do in the marketplace, and how is that going to behave? And, what will a year from now look like? And the market will sort of determine that through these forces, similar to what we've been talking about all this term. So with that being said, I just wanted to, since this is going to be our last time together, I wanted to say how much I thought I thought we did a good job. I think you guys all worked pretty hard, and today we're going to hear from all the groups starting at the beginning. So let me give the ground rules out. because I've already done this and it works pretty well. And that is we've got 9 presentations today, and the rules are, I want you to keep your presentations to 5 minutes if we can, because we have questions and answers. We do have the clients here, 2 or 3 of the clients here. I just saw Elizabeth here, and Liz come in, and Carrie's on her way. So they'll be here to evaluate. I'm also recording, I'm recording the presentations. And the reason I think that's important is as you guys move on in your careers and stuff, you may want to have this project. You may want to have your project as for yourself that you can show to employers on what you produce this term. So that, you know, if you want that, then I can obviously have that clipped and have that sent to you. So as we go on in the presentations, we're going to start right at the beginning. The way this is going to work is I'm going to call your group number, and then what's going to happen is I have set the screen share so anybody in class can share their screen. So when I say that, what I want to do is I want the group number 1. We're going to start with group number 1 and then continue to group number 9. What I want to happen is I want group number 1, who's ever sharing their screen with their presentation, do so. And what I'm asking the groups to do in their presentation is to unmute your mic and turn your video on so we can see you presenting and get a better idea. So then we're going to have, the way it's going to work is you're going to have a presentation, and we're going to spend a couple minutes. I'm going to ask a couple questions, and if the clients have a couple questions, we can do that. It's not we're not going to spend a lot of time with each group right now. We're gonna watch each presentation. I'll ask a couple questions. If the client has 1 or 2, they can do that, and then we're just gonna keep moving through that. And then after the class is completed, what we're gonna do is when after class, the group, the client and myself are gonna get together, and we're gonna pick a Shark Tank winner. So that's how that's gonna propose. And any follow through that is necessary, I'll be the liaison between the groups and the client. So that's what we're going to do. I wanted to also mention that I've got a couple projects going on this summer, and if you're interested in internships or interested in following through, I'm working on looks like I'll be working on a plan, an active plan for the National Christmas Tree Promotion Board. We're going to try to. Apparently Christmas trees, millennial moms are buying fake trees, and we want to turn that trend around. As you know, Oregon's is the biggest Christmas tree farming state in the nation. So we're going to help them. And then also, if we get this grant, I told you about this grant from the NSF on this testing protocol for the COVID virus. If my team gets that, we'll be needing some help there. So it could be some exciting work if anybody's interested. So those are my announcements, and that's one of my things. So anybody got any questions before we start? Anything? Okay, well, let's start now, and I'll call up group 1, and I'd like group 1 to come. That's Yukai Chen is the leader of that group, and share your screen with us and give us your presentation, please.
Okay. So now can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Very good.
Okay, and then Hertz will start it.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. We are the Shoutreach marketing agency. Today, we are going to present about the marketing campaign for HPV vaccine. For today's agenda, we will talk about the branding and logos, product strategy and target market analysis, and promotion strategies. So first, I will talk about the branding and logos. Can you change the slides? Okay, thank you. For the branding concept of Shoutreach, it means that we can help our clients to send their messages to reach their target audiences effectively. Like the megaphone on the logo, which means that we can spread the messages loud and clear to reach the target audiences in a specific area. And for the concept of field care campaign is that we want people to concern more about the health of someone they care about by getting the HPV vaccine to them for the protection of the HPV virus and prevent them from the cause of many cancers. You can see from the logo that it looks like the vaccine is giving a stronger life to someone you care. And next, Kevin will talk about the next part.
Okay, for me, I'm going to talk about the product strategy and our target market. And I will talk about the mission first. So our first mission is to increase the HPV vaccination rate for young teenagers. And second is raise community awareness in the importance of HPV vaccination. And third one is decrease the number of HPV cancer infection. So our target market is focus on preteens and teens and their parents. And we think that preteens and teens are our consumer and their parents are customer, because consumer is the people who use the products and customer is the people who buy the products. So their parent is customer and their children like preteens and teens are consumer. And next one, we use the SWOT analyze and the marketing for PS to analyze the market. For a string one, HPV vaccine is not only can prevent the cervical cancer, but it also can prevent the anal and throat cancer. And for the weakness, we think that HPV vaccine is lack of promotion, and it have a little bit side effects for some people who have allergy. And for opportunity, we think that the HPV vaccine can combine with other vaccine and can increase the age range. I remember that we saw the research in this year. We saw that the age range is increased now. Before people can get the vaccine is from age 16 to 26, and now they can increase the range to under 45. And we think that if the HPV vaccine can increase the age range, like when you just born and you can get the vaccine, and I think that would be super great. So the third one is we think the customer recognition is how to say that is like many people don't know what is HPV vaccine is. They were confused about HPV and HIV. And I think this threat is because the HPV vaccine is lack of promotion. Also, the other threat is the other low price vaccine with the same effect will influence the HPV vaccine. And to talk about 4PS, we need to know about the products, price, and promotion. So the product is HPV vaccine, and the price is where we are going to promote, where the customer can buy the products. So our price is hospital, clinic, and health and care center at school. And for our price, we want to set the price as a reasonable and affordable. And how are we going to promotion? Is we will through advertisement, website, or lecture or poster. And next part, Pep will talk you about our promotion strategy. Pep.
Oh, he needs to be unmuted. There you go.
Oh, sorry. My bad. So for the part of promotion strategies, so we will mainly focus on parents. The reason is that because they are customers who have the high power of purchase and they have a lot of decision-making power than those consumers like teens and preteens. So according to the research, it shows that 97% of an adult between 16 to 64 years old log on to the social media platform very frequently, like daily or even like several times a day. So, and 91% of participants say that their health decision relies on their communities in the social platform. So there are two tools that we're gonna use. So the first one is advertisement. So we will use the advertisement on the social media in order to attract the wider age range of customers. So according to the WHO research in 2018, it shows that there is 960 million people died because of the cancer. So we will use the advertisement to attract people in social media by showing us the positive factors of our product. And we will create like an emotional video that might lead them to understand the importance of our product, like when they lost their beloved family members, like that. Oh, and another tools that we're gonna use is website. So we will develop website to provide information contents about the HPV virus and HPV vaccine information, such as how dangerous this virus is and how vaccine can prevent these kind of virus when we choose the vaccine, yes. And we will also apply the SEO, or what we call search engine optimization tools in these useful contents before we post on the website. So SEO tools will help us to reach more target audience because we will insert the common keywords about the HPV virus into our contents, such as HPV virus, HPV vaccine price, and HPV symptoms. So they can search even easier than before. So that's it. Thank you.
Mhm. I had one question, and I would like you to clear it up for me if you would. You had mentioned earlier in the presentation some connection you were going to use between HPV and HIV. Can you explain that to me again, just so I understood that? You'd mentioned the two together, and I was curious as to why you did that and what that meant.
Oh yeah, so I think it's many people will confuse about what is HPV and HIV because they sound similar, but actually they are a little bit different. And for HIV is about the people have not safety sex and they will get HIV. But HPV, people will think that HPV is one kind of HIV. So when someone hears that I want to have the HPV vaccine, and maybe they will have a bias about maybe you are not safe too.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I thought you meant. Okay, that's all the question I had. If any of the other clients want to have a question, and if not, we'll move on to the next one. So I'll give you a couple seconds there. Okay, all right. Now we would like to hear from group number 2. Please share your screen and begin your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Professor Toombs. So my name's Connor Kessler, and I'm here representing Group 2.
Very good.
Yeah, so we kind of discussed this with you. We decided to record our presentation beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just sharing my screen, and can you see the video presentation on the screen?
I can, exactly. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna start playing it. Please let me know if you can't hear the audio or anything.
Yeah, and then we'll hold questions to the end. It's like a typical one. So that's
Okay, sounds good.
Great.
Thank you.
Connor, is there supposed to be audio associated with that?
Yeah, can you not hear it?
Yeah, well, when you share screen, you got to push that little button that says share computer audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so stop sharing and then reshare, and then just it'll be there's a little button in the left when you go to share screen. It says share computer audio.
I see it. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
No worries, man. And I'm recording your recording.
Okay, I think it should be good now.
Yeah, cool.
Hey everyone, so
That's
we're
good.
group 2 and this is our Gardasil marketing presentation. So first we wanted to start off this project with a SWOT analysis, and this is just to put everything into perspective and to give us a better understanding of where we're headed. So we started with strengths. Gardasil works, it's readily available, and insurance usually covers the cost. We also wanted to acknowledge that there is a patent on the vaccine, so we don't have to worry about competition or anything like that. So next, weaknesses. It is an intramuscular shot. Simply, people don't like that. It's painful. People don't know about HPV or Gardasil, so just a general lack of information and awareness. Access and cost limiting factors in some communities are present. Next, we have opportunities. So, in educating communities, pediatric healthcare reform, safer sex, saving lives. These are all opportunities. Pediatric healthcare reform is just kind of reframing the mindset some of these medical providers have around the vaccine and Gardasil. So threats, anti-vaxxers, people who don't believe in scientists, and then don't trust big pharma. And then just general misinformation as well. Those are all threats. So next we have our branding. So because the HPV vaccine, otherwise known as Gardasil, already has a well-established logo design and manufacturing brand, we just decided to use the pre-existing lavender and green colors, and then the same type of font as well. So this will be for our educational brochures and vaccination stickers. This will promote brand recognition by having congruency throughout our online and community presence. So our awareness campaign, it will use the line, "Be your own advocate, prevent cancer, get vaccinated today." So after receiving a vaccination, people will be given a sticker that will say, "I prevented HPV related cancer today," along with information about the vaccine and then where you can go to get it done. So next we have the product strategy. So of course our product is Gardasil, and the target market is 9 to 26-year-olds, along with any parents and guardians who are the decision makers for minors. So of course the need is to prevent HPV. And we have many of the implications of HPV on there, including everything from anogenital warts to untimely death. Next, we have the price strategy. So, in the United States, some insurance plans cover the cost of the vaccine. Otherwise, there are several ways to get a free vaccination, and that includes like the Merck website, children's programs, college or university medical clinics, and so on. So, because of this, our pricing strategy does not include a change in pricing for the product. So instead, we're going to be focusing more on promoting the methods by which people can get vaccinated.
Our promotion strategy is focused on the younger generations with mainly social media networks. So we have created 2 flyers here that would go up in schools. Both cancer can be prevented and fight for yourself, get vaccinated today. And we are going to start a hashtag HPV challenge, similar to the Ice Bucket Challenge. But in this case, people will tape them telling their parents they want to get the vaccine and capture their parents' reactions using the hashtag HPV challenge. And the idea is that this would go viral across all social media networks. So in addition to posting these flyers in schools, also using the hashtag HPV challenge. Our next slide goes into our socially responsible campaign, where we would team up with American royalty celebrities. Huge Instagram influencers reach large audiences, especially people in our target market range. So our socially responsible campaign would focus on what it means to be socially responsible during the pandemic, including wearing masks and doing social distancing. And then also after the pandemic, social responsibility looks like recycling and getting vaccinated with Gardasil. Also for commercials, a lot of the previous campaigns didn't focus on the fact that HPV falls into the same category as other STIs, including syphilis, HIV, and chlamydia, but HPV can be prevented with the vaccine. And this chart is showing how much more common HPV is than other STIs. Finally, our distribution strategy includes all of the normal distribution networks, the large network of middlemen and medical offices and doctors' offices and pharmacies. And we'd like to add a distribution strategy that includes vaccine vehicles that will make vaccines readily available in communities much like blood drive vehicles. They are highly visible and are accessible in communities and they don't require special appointments in going to the doctors. So that is in addition to the distribution strategy of everything that already exists. And that's our presentation. Thanks so much for your attention.
Thanks, everybody.
That was good. Couple things, questions. I like the Fight for Yourself campaign. Is there anything like that on the market today, that Fight for Yourself idea?
As far as I was aware of, we didn't really find any existing campaigns that were like the Fight for Yourself that we were aware of. I don't know if anyone in my group wants to chime in on that matter, but as far as what we could tell, there wasn't really much.
I guess what I'm asking is that you didn't find any. I mean, it's a unique idea that you guys came up with, I think. I mean,
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Second thing is, on the van idea, could that be a model or a precursor for a van for when we get the COVID virus? When we get that, I mean, do you see that as being a mechanism to awaken? You've done a good job in awakening. I like the Fight for Yourself idea, and I think that works, especially with. I mean, you talk about these young generations. They're going through this at the beginning of their lives and their concerns, and the whole idea of being a self-advocate, right? And it's gonna emerge. The market's gonna emerge because your generation or younger kids even, they're not gonna want to socially distance forever. They want a normal life, you see. So I guess the point is that providing enough information to empower the person is when you really get those market forces going. And that's why I wanted to comment on that as well. So
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we noticed that parallel as well, like empowering the individual, and that's kind of why we went along with that slogan. And again, with the vaccine vehicles, we definitely saw the parallels between HPV and then the current pandemic, as you stressed. So definitely we'd see some crossover, some potential.
The other question is then let me see, we've got a chat from, so here's another question from Liz, the client. So the Fight for Yourself campaign, is that a person would tell their parent they want the vaccine and then there would be a picture posted in the parent's face? Is that what that's what you're saying, right? In other words, you'd make it like the ice bucket challenge and every kid would go up to their parent and say, I'm fighting for myself, and see what they say.
Yeah, exactly. It's to kind of make it a trend.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I really like the idea of the van. And so do you see that as like us partnering with like the Red Cross and using their van like for vaccination days?
Yeah, definitely.
I also think in this case, because of the general trends that are happening as we come out of this pandemic, you might, if we had a solution, Carrie, we could probably get funding from the government to kickstart this whole campaign with the van, right? Because in the idea that we've got a model to attack HPV, and then it'll eventually grow into this giant virus. I get it. Okay. All right, cool. All right, that was good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. We would like to invite number 3 up, please, and share your screen. And if you've got audio, share that too as well. Thank you. Let's hear from group number 3.
Okay, cool. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep, I can.
Mm-hmm. Looks like good. Can we start?
Yep, please do.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I want to start to introduce our product, I want to say that I'm happy to see all of you who sit here looks like pretty good and healthy. And as we know that a global pandemic came along that scared everyone in the world. Well, one is very unfortunate if you experience one kind of global flu in your life. And now we have been very unfortunate to experience two global flus among worlds since 2000. One is H1N1 in 2009, and now we are fighting with coronavirus. More than 5.6 million people have been confirmed infected with coronavirus as of today. In this case, we couldn't help but think that if we have vaccine, people who were infected with coronavirus could be cured. If we have coronavirus, we have vaccine, people who were infected with other harmful flus could be healed. And now, the company Eve are so confident to stand here to sell our product to you. We have the opportunity to have a complete prevention of the very dangerous HPV. That is our new vaccine, GARDC9. If you get access to our Eve company's products, GARDC9, you get access to prevent HPV. And now I will tell people why you should choose GARDC9 but not choose other vaccines. So first, it is the only HPV vaccine that can against certain cancers and disease, and it's the only HPV vaccine available in US. Second, people can get HPV vaccine from 9 to 45 years old, and it's pretty safe to administer. Last, it has a very high technology barriers, make it very difficult to compete. So let's stop here. Maybe you will think that this powerful vaccine will sell in a very high price because in the market, we can see that other kind of HPV vaccine is over $250. But now you just need $150, and then you can get free from HPV. Now, let's invite my partner Shuo to introduce how we will sell our product. Sure.
Yeah, for our For our promotion strategy, we focus on two main promotions: school promotion and the social promotion. The first reason we choose to promote it in schools is that the CDC recommends that children as young as 11 or 12 get the HPV vaccine, but it may be as early as age 9. And based on our data, the best age for vaccination is before age 26. School is the place with the highest composition of this age group. Therefore, our first choice is to carry out early promotion in schools. Our second way of promotion is social promotion. We hope to cooperate with star volunteers and invite famous scientists, scholars, and popular stars to participate in our project and shoot advertisements, display films, documentary, and carry out online and offline promotion as well. Okay, next slide. For our distribution strategy, we divided into 3 parts: indirect distribution, direct distribution, and intensive distribution. For indirect distribution will be our main distribution strategy. We would cooperate with insurance companies and dental clinics for sales. Insurance companies and dental clinics have a large number of potential customers for our products. They will contribute to our study on the consensus sales. We keep direct distribution and intensive distribution in order to retain the direct contact with potential customers through the frontline employee, and we could obtain the first-hand original information of customer structure and customer feedback through those 2 channels. We believe that through above brand strategy, product strategy, pricing strategy, and promotion strategy, distribution strategy, as well as the current impact of COVID-19, our products will be recognized by market and accepted by consumers. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Okay, just a couple questions. You had explained to me direct distribution in the sense of right from the manufacturer. Tell me how that would work. Somebody.
Could you repeat the question again?
Yeah, go back to your last slide. You had a slide on distribution. No, there we go. You had direct distribution. Oh no, indirect. You had order Gardasil 9 directly from the IF website. How would that work? Explain that to me. Someone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, explain that to me.
It's like the individual customer can buy the HPV vaccine from our website.
Okay, and would he take that to a doctor, or what would he do with it when he got it?
And they can, and I think they can shot the HPV vaccine by themselves.
Okay, all right.
Like that.
All right. Yeah, we'd have to check on the regulation for that one. Okay. All right. That was the only question I had. Thank you very much. Okay, let's have group number 4, please. Group number 4. That's Aaron's running that one. Let's see what we got. Yep. How you doing, Aaron?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Good.
All right. So let's start.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You got to share your screen. And I have to see your present. I've got the last presentation I'm looking at. There you go.
All right.
Cool. Yep, there we go.
Good. Okay.
Yep, we're good to go.
Fantastic. All right. So this is our marketing plan. I'm just going to start. So the goals of our plan are we need systemic change, basically, because we want to take this from basically no one really thinking about HPV or their vaccinations to everyone is completely vaccinated. We also want to shift the focus from HPV to cancer prevention because it is much easier to basically get people on board with the idea of like cancer is bad and you don't get into the sexual politics of HPV, which was one of the main issues when they first introduced the vaccine. Also, we want to go with a two-pronged approach. One would be through partnering with government officials, doctors, pharmacies for a top-down approach that's more regulated, but also from a kind of grassroots situation where you are raising awareness for the end consumer as well.
Okay.
And then we did a little bit of background research. So in Australia, they implemented a government-funded vaccination program in 2007, targeted towards both men and women ages 12 to 13. And this was with the old Gardasil, but they still found a reduction in infections of 86% between people ages 18 to 24 with 3 doses and 76% with only 1 to 2. So basically what they found is even just in that age range, the levels are going down for even people who weren't vaccinated, which is suggestive of herd protection. Basically the idea that you don't need to have every single person vaccinated to eliminate the virus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for the tracking market, we divide the market as 3 parts. The first part is government officers, doctor, and pharmacists. And the reason is that these people can give the first-hand information to the customer, and then the systematic change require top-down approach. And for the second part, the young people, such as the college, high school, middle school students, and the post-COVID generation, they can prevent spread of HPV in next generation is the quickest way to eliminate the disease. And these people is the human's future. So if all of they can get a shot of the HPV, maybe the cancer about the HPV will be disappear. Finally, adults adults over 26 with children and loved ones. Raising awareness in those already infected will help them to protect the people they care about. Next. For the branding, the logo, the HPV-related cancer coalition already has a brand name and acronym, HPV-RCC. We also see no reason to change it. The abbreviation is known, but has a nice ring to do it. Our recommendation is increased use of lavender while accenting with the green. We believe that associating HPV-RCC with a single color will be more effective at catch the customer's eyes. And lavender also will be connected with cancer. Also, keeping the green color as the essence will allow the logo to pop more. Next. For the price, there are two things about price. The first, the market charge is the $450 for three shows. So we encourage people to get insurance for it, and then for the people who don't have the insurance, we recommend advertising as only 115 pre-shirt for those without insurance for these people. Okay.
All right, and then as far as promotion, the idea is that we need to be lobbying, we need to get petitions, people signing stuff, raising awareness that way, and then raising awareness kind of up the chain of command of people who can make systemic change. You need to set up a website, social media, get some expert testimony from doctors, researchers, people who know exactly what they're doing, firsthand accounts from cancer survivors. Obviously, HPV-RCC was started by survivors, and we would want to kind of lead with that. Mm-hmm. And then the focus, again, just to reiterate, would be on awareness and cancer prevention, because it is so much easier to get people to be excited about, no more cancer. We're not going to have that anymore. As far as advertising, the focus would be on protecting people, protecting the people that you love. There's a huge number of people who are already infected with HPV, but that doesn't mean that they can't spread awareness and basically help their families be like, this is someone who does not have it, let's get them vaccinated. As far as fundraising goes, because lobbying is not free, in a kind of a post-COVID world, people will want to go back outside again, and we would want to capitalize on that, do kind of outdoor events, similar to kind of how like fun runs work for, kind of race for the cure type situations. And then while you're already there, have some pop-up clinics, get people with that first vaccination, just get them on there. As far as distribution, thinking channel partners, get with doctors' offices, get with pharmacies. As with Australia, if you can get school districts on board, even just have vaccinations given out in the gym, with some registered nurses there. Additionally, you can partner up with bigger companies like Walmart, Rite Aid, CVS, people who already have pharmacies within them, offer special promotions, discounts, get people in the store. Once they're there, they see, an advertisement for this vaccine, they get it, which brings me to location. It is way more likely that someone is going to get a vaccination if they're already at the doctor's office, if they're already at the pharmacy, as opposed to getting someone to go in to get them. I mean, we've seen it with flu shots. People, they don't really want to go out of their way to do it, but once they're there, you get them. And you have it so that either developing an app or work with doctor's offices and pharmacies so that it just pops up. If someone's there, it pops up, it says you haven't had your vaccination, to get their vaccination, have it set up so that everything's scheduled so you can get the entire series. And that's it. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got two that come to the top of my mind. Number one is a pretty straightforward. I'm curious as to why I get the branding of a vaccine that works to deflect the anti-vaxxers and stuff, but do you think, and this is not a criticism more than it is just because you guys have studied this in your group, do you think this COVID thing has created more anti-vaxxers than less? And do you think that, why appeal to them anyway? I mean, do you think that they're going to ever care about you? I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm just having a conversation with you.
Yeah. So we're not appealing to them. Okay. The idea is more that because there are questions of the efficacy of vaccines, we want to focus on the fact, this one, no question about it, it works.
So you're not trying to sell the anti-vaxxers. You're not trying to convert them. Okay.
I think that realistically, if you believe in anti-vaxxing, also there's probably a large possibility if you're an anti-vaxxer, you might also already have HPV, and therefore.
Yeah, and that's the other question. This is not a criticism. This is only a question maybe for the class and everybody, is that if I have HPV and I'm wandering around, right?
Yes.
I'm asymptomatic, similar to what the COVID people are. Is that your understanding? I don't know, maybe.
Well, kind of, but with COVID, it's for a couple weeks, whereas HPV, it is for the rest of your life.
I see. So,
well, the other thing, Chuck, is that there's like 200 different strains of HPV. So you don't know, even if you're asymptomatic, you don't know what strain you have, and they're not doing a lot of genomic profiling right now. So you may have the non-cancer HPV, like the ones that cause warts, or another type. So when you get the vaccine, you may then prevent the cancer-causing.
Here's what I'm trying to make the connection, and then again, this is not a criticism of the group. This is just sort of learning. My wife and I went to Clackamas County because there was a bar that was open, right? And then so we were there, and somebody coughed in the corner. Now all of a sudden, what I'm thinking of is that coughing in a public place is going to be like wearing an A on your chest, right? I mean, and the question is if I'm running around and but it's not the same, right? Because COVID, I can get it through the air, and then HPV, if I'm asymptomatic, the only way I'm going to spread that is some sort of sexual activity, right? That's that. So I'm not going to be a danger to society like the COVID asymptomatic people are, right? Okay. That it wasn't a criticism. I was just trying to think that through. Okay.
Sure.
Good. All right. Good. That was really good. Okay. Let's hear from group number 5 now. There we go.
Excuse me, can you see our...
Yes, I can, and I can hear you fine. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We are Group 5. Our mission is expand demand for the HPV vaccine by convince people to accept the HPV vaccine. There are 5 marketing strategies that we will introduce. This picture is our product, GARDASO.
So follow the instruction, we mainly focus on the channel partner and how to sell the vaccine. So first, we want to cooperate with car insurance company. People will be curious about why we cooperate with car insurance company. So for the number of registered vehicles in US 2020, there are about 287.3 million. So the corresponding car insurance company is also very known. So the company will continue to launch promotional activities based on the user's age, gender, marriage location, and many other factors. So this market has mastered the basic information that we need of many users, which is more conducive to our promotion of the vaccine market, help us to accurate delivery and target customers. So there are more than 500 car insurance providers in the US, like we can cooperate with Geico, Progressive, and State Farm. So we'll introduce reciprocal benefits. Next slide. In the first way is like the insurance customers can apply for a discount for a vaccine based on the time of purchase insurance. Like 1 year insurance user can get a 10% discount, or 2 year get 15%. So yeah, in another way, if you're a new insurance customer, you can use your vaccination certificate to get an original insurance user discount. It's around 1.3% to 2.6% per month.
And our second option is to cooperate with schools. In the United States, about 40% of teenage girls and 21.6% of boys has already accepted the HPV vaccine. And this amount is behind other countries in the whole world. And we will focus on two main markets. First, we plan to invite students and their parents to attend the lecture about the HPV vaccine in the physiological health class in junior high school and senior high school. And our second market is to focus on the university. First, we will provide speech to advertise HPV's common knowledge and introduce our company's HPV vaccine products. And second, we will hire students to be our brand ambassadors to let them expand the publicity and influence of our vaccine in schools.
Well, we can promote our product by cooperating with related product companies. First of all, we know that the main infection site is a genital area, and the main infection way is sexual intercourse. Therefore, we can define that our target customers could be people who have sex. So we can work with a condom company. Why do we choose them? The important thing people need during sex is a condom. Why do they choose us? The condom company can improve the sense of security of customers if this company work with a large medical company like us. So what we will do is first we can print the consequence of HPV on the back of the condom package, like tobacco companies print this on the security case in many countries. Second, we can put the discount information of the vaccine into a box, which will provide cheaper and better protection for our customers.
So our next step is to cooperate with supermarkets, the retailers. So as we mentioned, the dairy products with our vaccine logo printed on the outer packaging will also be sold in supermarkets. So for example, this is a Durex condom with our logo on the outer packaging. And then we also will set up a booth in the supermarket. So we will provide the leaflets about HPV introduction on the booth so that the customers can take them away for browsing at any time. So this way we can let more people to have the knowledge about HPV. And then we will also add our HPV vaccine product on the leaflets of the supermarkets. For example, this is the ad of Safeway. So we put our vaccine above the ad. And then we will also print our information on the back of the receipt of supermarkets. So all these ways, we can let more people to see our vaccine product and to expand the publicity efforts so that to increase our demand.
So the last part is celebrity effect. Celebrity charm always works. So like successful people such as athletes, movie stars, and singers have great status and voice in American society. So we're inviting them to make an advertising videos or be a spokesman. It has a great improvement in introducing HPV vaccine. So that is all of our strategy and our presentation. Thank you, guys.
I've got a question or a comment, I think, more than anything. You've hit a lot of areas, so that's good. You've spread yourself into a lot of areas, which which will maximize the probability of success in one of these areas. I think that I'm not sure the condom people will maybe I'm wrong here, but I think it's I don't know that the condom people will let you advertise on their boxes because you'd put them out of business, wouldn't you? I mean, I think in that sense, they go get. I see a mixed message there in the sense that if you get an HPV vaccine, then you don't need a condom, I guess. Am I wrong on that, or what are your thoughts? Just give me your thoughts on that.
Though candidates don't provide perfect protection for customers, they can just help reduce people's chances of getting HPV, and combining with the use of our products will greatly enhance the protection for them.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, I think also, Chuck, that you're preventing pregnancy. Your condoms are preventing other STIs.
That's a good point. Okay.
So.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that might work. Okay. Great. That was good, you guys. Thank you very much. Now we will move to group number 6.
All right.
Okay, I can see something, but I can't hear anybody. There we go.
All right.
There we go.
So can you see my screen, Professor?
Yep, I'm right there. I got it. Thank you.
That's great. So our today's agenda is about like the branding strategy, price strategy, product strategy, promotion, and the distribution. To start off with the branding strategy. Okay, so we got the name Immucil 9. So it's kind of same pronunciation with the Gardasil. Okay, so we got this word from immunity. The first whole letter immu stands for immunity, and the asal is an Arabic word, and which means like uniqueness and purity. So we got the word from the Arabic dictionary, that is asal. So we combine this word immucil, which means like get immunity with purity. That is also our slogan as well, right? So the people get in think of like they can get immunity with the purity, like this is the vaccine that they wanted. Okay, so the next we have the pricing strategy. Okay, so for the pricing strategy, of course we got the patent in the market, and we are the only one who's selling the product in the market. We don't have any competitors in the market right now. So because of this, we're gonna penetrate with regular price. We don't have to change our prices. But yeah, what we can do with our customers, like we're going to contact with different stores like Safeway, Walmart, Costco, and many of the other stores, right? So they can offer our product, and of course, like those stores have their memberships, right? So the members can get the discounts on the discount percentage that whatever the store is offering them. So on that sense, like they can get the discount on the pricing factors. The next we have the product strategy. In the product strategy, of course our product is about Immucil 9, which we all know that is going to prevent us from HPV diseases, right? So and this product is especially for the female. I mean, it's gonna work with both male and the female as well, but especially for the female, which definitely prevent them from cervical cancer, right? So and we have the target market from 9 years to 26 years. And why our product gonna work in the market? We have a study of the Department of Health and Human Services, and they have the goal that they want this vaccine rate to be 80% by 2020. And this is like the huge potential for our product. Like if the government is trying to help us, so we can get the benefit from the government. And we have seen like out of 4 and 5 people, 1 person is getting the HPV.
So it is like the serious disease. Like although people are not going to take care of this and not taking this disease seriously, but it's a serious threat for the upcoming generation. Okay, so the next we have our promotion strategy. So we have focus on the 6 things. The first is like the government healthcare department. Of course, like if we get them on board, so we can have a lot of benefits from the government. They can fund us, right? And they can help us to educate people. And they are the very reliable source for sure. And if we get the government support, so we can go all around the US. The second, we have the hospital and clinics. Of course, doctors are the lifesavers, right? So, and they are the one, like the people really listen to them. And the people, whenever they visit to the doctors and they have this disease, of course, the doctor can help them out to let them know that, you know, like this is the vaccine that you guys can have it, right? And of course, like the normal clinic, they can have this vaccine and they can guide the people as well. The schools, of course, like this is the most spread occurs when, you know, at the age from 12 till onwards, right? Because that is the time that the teenagers are hitting their puberty and they won't have this crave to have sex with other people, right? So, and when they have that, so that is the age. And if they get to know about it, that they are, okay, they are having it for pleasure, but there is a threat in between that. So if they get to know about the threat, they can prevent themselves from the disease, right? And the pharmacies, of course, the pharmacies, and they should have our product in the market, and they can also guide the people. And when you go out there in the pharmacies and when you see the brochures out there, so you can you know, direct market to the person that this is our new product, and you know, this is the thing that going to prevent from us. And of course, like the insurance companies, we have insurance companies, most of the insurance companies cover the vaccine shots, right? But I'm not sure about the HPV virus. So we're gonna get a connection with the insurance companies, so we can get them on board and they can cover the HPV vaccine on their insurance plan. And of course, like the social media, right now, it is the era of technology, and everyone is on social media, from the teenagers to adults, right? So social media is the platform that we can cater all our promotion strategies. The next, we have our distribution strategy. In the distribution strategy, we have the 3 things: the direct sale, the wholesaler, retailer, and the broker and distributor. On the direct sale, first we have the reciprocity. So it's about like give them a favor to our consumer. So we can give them a rebates, free samples, and of course we can provide them a free vouchers, and so they can get the vaccine, and we can make them believe the favor is selective. And at whatever point a client feels you have helped them out, that makes the need to bring it back, and of course they will be obliged to help you out. And the other is like the benefit. So we have to address our consumer about the logic of utilizing the item, the vaccine, and provide them an answer of their necessity and the queries, whatever they have about the vaccine. And moreover, it will reveal to them how it will spare them a time, how it will settle their life issues, and how they save their loved ones from losing their life. And the last, we have the question answer sessions. So we try to have a chit chat session with our customers, which help them to learn about which help us to learn about their ideology. Like, do they like the vaccine? Do they like to consume the vaccine? What time they take immunization shots? Acknowledge them how vaccine can change their loved ones' lives, you know. So we're gonna do all these chit chat session with our customer to get to know more about our customer requirements. The next, we have the brokers and distributors. So this strategy gonna help us out. So in this strategy, we need our legal intermediaries. Those are the brokers and the distributors, right? So, and they are the representative of our product to our end customers. They're gonna lead our product in the market. They're gonna spread things about our product in the market. So, and the threat to this is that by having an intermediary aligned, it doesn't mean the job is done. Because like right now, I was searching for the Gardasil line, and in the Walmart, they don't have the stock. So they are out of stock right now. So I don't know. I don't want to criticize Gardasil company, but the thing is, like, they are not watching their channel, like how their broker and distributor are doing in the market. But like if your product is out of the shelf, out of the stock, so it's kind of hard for them to, you know, generate a profit in the market. So we have to we have to become the captain of the ship. We have to lead them. We have to tell them that we are out of stock. So you guys go and cover it up. And the next we have, of course, the wholesaler and the retailers. So with that, we need to build a relationship. We don't have to think about the profitability while maintaining a relationship, because when we go with when we try to build a relationship, we need to make sure that it's a mutual, right? So we have to practice this habit in our organization culture, and will lead them constructing trust and reliability with them. The second is like we need to permit our affiliates to know your product. We provide them a brief introduction about our product and make sure they grasp all the necessary information. However, they usually have a mindset to sell a product, and providing detailed information will help them to understand your product, and ultimately they can give brief to our customers. And the last, of course, the feedback, how is our product doing in the market? So we can take the criticism as a feedback as well, so we can make our product more better. And that'd be all from my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, couple things. Number one is, tell me just again why you felt the need to change the brand name. Tell me, give me that logic again one more time. Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, we think that Immucil 9, the Gardasil, I was searching for the word Gardasil, you know, although Gardasil is a well-reputed brand in the market right now, they have a good reputation, they've already created reputation in the market, but you know, like the Gardasil, I couldn't find the meaning of that word, you know, but if I can try to find the meaning, the first 4-letter guard is like defense and guarding yourself, you know.
Yeah,
it's like the guarding yourself. So it is also like the same thing. So I come up with the new name, you know, like the people have the more sense of understanding about the immunity, you know, the immunity word has a more strong effect on the people. Like when you say the immunity, the people have to think about the vaccine and other things. Okay, I can get the immunity from the vaccine, right? So, yeah. So the word, the immunity itself, it's gonna lead them towards the vaccine.
Okay. Yeah.
So of course, like the ASL, that the last 4 word of my word, the logo is that, which is purity. You know, okay. So it gives them a think about that they can get an immunity with the purity. Yeah. Not like any regulated vaccine they are going to take. Of course, like the vaccine are pure, definitely for sure. But
and I think that's an interesting point that you make, and I'm not that informed about the drug business, but drug companies are notorious for being lousy brand name people, because none of what they come out with means anything, and I think that's an area that really should be explored, I think, more than anything else.
That's right, because like if you don't have a meaning of your brand name, or so you won't be able to convey the message to your end customer.
Mm-hmm. The other point I think I make is that you got to remember that these are all the company is in a monopoly position, right? So they can charge the monopoly price, and when you're able to charge the monopoly price, you think just because you can charge the monopoly price, people are going to buy it, which is not true. See, so even though if you have a monopoly, you have to create the demand and the pull. You know, that's the important thing.
Yeah, that's why we're offering them a discount, the membership discount, so they can, you know, get the vaccine in a lower price as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, that was very good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's hear from group number 7 now. There.
Okay, I'm trying to get this sorted out.
It's okay. Take your time, Henry. No, we're not. We're ahead of schedule.
Okay.
I can hear you. I just can't see you now.
Yeah. There we go. Had to pick the right desktop.
There you go.
All righty. So let me come over here, and is that going to work? Yes.
There we go. Perfect.
Excellent. Hello, we're Group 7, and I'm Henry. This project presented 3 challenges: raising awareness, increasing vaccination rates, and developing a funding stream for the HPVRCC. We focus on the last two, but not to disregard the first. So our mission is to create a pathway between interested users and healthcare providers who can deliver the desired service or product most conveniently and at the lowest cost. Our goal is to move healthcare from a provider push relationship to a consumer pull paradigm, letting consumers take charge of their healthcare. To bridge the gap between awareness and action, we present MedFinder, a website app where the user can find the best provider of the desired healthcare related service or product, in this case, HPV vaccinations. MedFinder gives users the best choice of provider based on service or product desired, travel time, cost, insurance accepted, hours of operation, and other criteria. MedFinder can be customized to emphasize a particular health-related focus. For our client, this would be HPV vaccinations. The website app also includes a med tracking system, allowing customers to receive notifications about upcoming appointments, prescription refills, and any other health-related information. Additionally, through the channel partners, the customer can opt in to receive targeted coupons and discounts from regularly purchased products. We're targeting, just one second.
Yeah, take your time.
Nope, just got a little dry mouth.
Okay.
Okay, good. We're targeting the 18 to 25-year-old men and women marketing segment. This segment is beginning to make their own healthcare choices and may not have a primary care physician or much experience finding health services. The secondary segment we're targeting are parents of 11 to 18-year-old children. Families with children often have more health-related needs and would find a targeted healthcare management system useful in reducing missed appointments, forgotten medications, and reducing costs. An important benefit for the client beyond increasing vaccination rates is a revenue stream from the channel partner ad revenue based on click-through rates from the client website. Having the website app able to search beyond HPV vaccinations will provide a durable cash flow with users continuing to use the service to manage their healthcare needs. The value chain for this website app is centered on the channel partner relationships. In exchange for ad space, healthcare service providers will pay a fee depending on click-through rate. In exchange for access to consumer purchasing data, the channel partners will provide access to pricing information for relevant products, supporting the search functions of this website or app. Here's a mock-up of the app version, and it's a mock-up because we don't know how to make apps. This shows that what the user would input. There we go. So product choices and some filters, some information we'd collect from the user, and what the app site or what the website and app will return is a list of 3 providers that meet all the criteria, and these would be ranked on price. So we'll have a live version of the website at the end of this presentation that we can explore. So some branding or some advertisements and promotions are shown here. Here are some sample ads. The toilet news would be a series of ads that would be in like above urinals and on the inside of stall doors at like bars and restaurants frequented by the 18 to 25-year-old segment. The center ad here would be used or could be used for print ads or online ads in our channel providers. And this ad over here could be used in social media or other internet websites. So here is our website, and let's go to it. Okay, and you can't see that yet. And okay, I'm baffled by technology. So what I'm trying to do is, there it is. Can you
There
see
it
it?
is. Yeah, you can see it.
Perfect. So this is our MedFinder website. And as you can see, it's right now branded with the HPV RCC branding, both color and in the logos. And so here's a home. So here is information about HPV. Again, this can be easily customized. Here is some information about the HPV RCC. Again, easily customized. Here's where the interesting part takes place. So if the customer clicks on Get Started, they create a profile. And one of the most important things is to create a password to keep their medical information safe. So this is submitted. And then how would you like to shop? So what are you looking for? Again, all this is easily customizable. Here we have HPV vaccinations up first. Option, these other options could be specific or single products, or they could be categories. This again would depend on relationships with channel partners. This would easily be customized to provide a COVID-19 virus vaccination as what the customer would want to look for. So we looked at how long do you want to travel instead of how far do you want to travel, mostly because people are more familiar with the time it takes than how far they have traveled, and this necessitated us asking them how they get around. This obviously would be tied with the hours the providers are open. And here's some customizing or some personalization, and then just a little bit about us. So this gives you the general idea of what the website and app would look like. So let's talk about these channel partners. So they're looking at the two marketing segments. There's some common channel partners. So first, government healthcare providers, county health departments, these kind of things, public and private clinics and hospitals. These would include also dentist office and maybe some alternative med services like naturopaths.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the primary channel partners are going to be retailers that either have a pharmacy or have the ability to provide vaccinations. They also sell attending and associated healthcare products, which are going to be the key to keeping this app useful. So Bimart, Fred Meyers, Kmart, Walmart, other healthcare body and body care product manufacturers, female hygiene product manufacturers, contraceptive product manufacturers. For the 18 to 25-year-olds, bars and restaurants where these people hang out, right? Advertisements in there, colleges, adult-oriented websites, relationship finder websites, Tinder and Grindr, that kind of stuff. The parent market, more health-related products, publications, and websites, family interest publications, websites, and social media for both groups, both Twitter, Facebook, places like that. I'm sure that the young kids have places that old people like me don't go. So that is it. So there's the link for the website. Can other people access this? This is a technology issue.
Well, I think when I post, I guess they can, unless you send.
Well, I didn't know if this link was active through the shared screen.
Let me see. No, it isn't. No.
Okay.
It isn't. But based on that, I think. Could you email me your presentation?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll start there. Couple questions. So what you're trying to do is kind of flip it around in the sense that give the consumer the information that he needs, and he then walks up through, makes his own choices. I guess the question is that do you see any resistance to this in the channels as they are established right now?
So the resistance is going to be from the professional healthcare providers.
Why?
So at this point, physicians are not particularly incentivized to provide HPV vaccinations.
Right.
Also, physicians are not particularly as incentivized to sort of share. I'm trying to be polite here. Share influence. Right. So the information flow is historically from top down.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is help consumers take charge of their health care and find the best price for the products they want.
Yeah.
I see no pushback from retailers.
How about insurance companies, your existing health insurance company?
So if I am accident free, if I wear my seatbelt, if I take charge of how I drive my car and drive my car in a responsible manner, my insurance company gives me a discount.
Right.
If insurance companies don't have to pay out for cervical cancer treatment,
And that's a good point. That's back to that point. You're right.
and they're getting it for free,
Yeah.
right? So maybe they put an ad up on Progressive puts an ad up and said,
Right. They would be an ally. Yeah, they would be an ally.
if you get this, we will take, we'll give you a discount or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like what's happening in the pandemic. The auto insurers aren't stupid. They realize people aren't driving, and they're rather than the windfall profits that they would be making, because they're in the business of paying claims, right?
I got a rebate check from one of my insurance companies yesterday.
Yeah, and so yeah, and then now they're competition on that side of the fence. Okay, now the next question is, could this be a model for how we would implement the COVID vaccine when it comes? Would this be
this could absolutely be a model for that?
Okay.
Right. So it's easy to send a push from say Target, or Kmart or Fred Meyer's, someplace with a pharmacy that says, hey, fresh shipment of COVID-19 vaccines are here.
Mm-hmm.
Click on this link to schedule.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't understand. So is this website on this app is on our website, and then we push it via social media to get it? I'm not understanding how it works.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really smashed this down to less than 5 minutes and ended up sort of having to eliminate a couple details. So the idea is that we would partner with you. Right. So you would have an awareness program and a website, and we would partner with you. And then on your website, after the information part, there would be a link or a QR code that says, to find your nearest provider, click here. And then that would be the click-through rate bit I talked about. Right, so then you would generate ad revenue based on the click-through rates, and it would help provide you with a funding source.
So who owns MedFinder?
Right now I do, or we do, but we can either provide this as a service, or we can just donate this part. Right, so I envision this as a product that we could generate the capital for the product itself through commercial optimization of this, but be able to provide this service to nonprofits like HPV-RCC just pro bono. And so you would just, in exchange for links on your page, you'd get some funding and an effective way to sort of close that last mile.
So would you also have in terms of, because the word MedFinder makes me think of medical services, right? So if somebody gets cervical cancer or anal cancer or head and neck cancer, you would have the ability to link them to providers for those services also?
Sure, why not? So all this is a so think of your own personal Amazon. Right?
Okay,
So,
or your own personal Google.
yes,
basically.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
it's medically based.
And the difference here is that, Carrie, I think that it's flipped it around, right? In other words, the consumer is the one in control, not the provider of the information. I think that's the point.
Yeah, that is absolutely the point, because the
And
market
that
is
works.
driven by consumers.
Well, and that works with medical stuff because of HIPAA, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
And so I looked into HIPAA on this, and the consumer has control of their own information and can disseminate it how they see fit. So the thinking in our group was, if we provided some credentials for access to the information, then we can have some HIPAA compliance. And additionally, the channel partners, for the most part, don't really care about the actual identity of the consumer, right? They're more interested in their buying habits and these kinds of things, right? So the name of the consumer and the consumer's prescription health records are not out in the wind. But yes, to sort of go back to your comment, there's absolutely no reason why the search algorithm can't be optimized for what you want for the HPV RCC needs, and then optimized for some other targeted audience.
yeah, what probably
So would you put somewhere on, you know, when they first get on there or something, some kind of a HIPAA disclaimer?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you think about it, the people that link to MedFinder from the HPV RCC site will see a version that has HPV RCC branding, and the product list will contain products and services that are most important to your organization. And people who reach the MedFinder site from some other clickstream might see a different version of it. So this is conceivably fairly customizable and personalized depending on why people are there.
Yeah, it's a
So like if they went to a COVID website and clicked in because they were looking for COVID vaccine, say for instance,
Sure.
they would not see the HPV stuff. They would see places that give the HPV vaccine or treat it.
Yeah.
Right. If that's what they decided the product they decided to search for, that's one of the search criteria. It's like, what are you looking for?
So you wouldn't have a general vaccine place. It would be specific.
It could
So
be.
I guess that's my question is, so many people are still not familiar with HPV that they have to know about HPV to
Right.
get there. And so
Right.
how do you approach that aspect?
Okay, so at the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned the 3 challenges: raising awareness, increasing vaccination rates, and providing HPV RCC with a funding stream. We chose to focus on the second 2.
Okay.
And the idea is, you've seen some good presentations today. Yeah, you know, an awareness campaign is a product that another company or even, you know, our group could do for you. We just didn't focus on that. And so there would be the whole awareness campaign website stuff, and then we would be part of that. We would be channel partners with that, where it's like the awareness got raised and that people are excited about getting a vaccine, and then a lot of the awareness websites we looked at and doing our market research didn't have any way for the user to immediately find the closest provider. And so you raise the awareness, we'll get them the shot.
Mm-hmm. And I think this, yeah, there's another.
And so it continues to grow as we continue to add information to our website. So if they click on HPV vaccine but want additional information, it brings them back to the website. So they're interconnected.
Could easily do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I think we may want to move on, and if we want to have a follow-up meeting with any of these groups, we can certainly do that, Carrie.
Okay.
But we probably should move on to the next group, I think, at this point. So, okay, thank you very much. Now let's hear from Group 8, please.
Do I need to do anything to unshare my screen?
I think you need to stop sharing. If you
found it.
There you go. Thanks.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it. HPV. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. And this is, oh, no. Okay, perfect. Yeah, great.
Hi, we are Group 9, and I'm Nayeon. We're the last group, so just be chill and bear with me.
Excuse me. This is our turn.
Oh, yeah,
this
Group 8.
is
Group
Group
8.
8.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so
Sorry, Group 9. We'll get to you in just a second.
I did it first.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was Group 8. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Group 8. Whoever's Group 8. The leader is Teng Teng.
Can you see my screen?
I can, Oksana.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Oksana, and I'm here representing Group 8. So, our branding has a name, Cervarix1. We decided not change the name completely because the original name already has a global market recognition and has a proven positive effect. So our purpose is to increase HPV vaccination coverage to reduce HPV-related cancer and disease by increasing awareness and knowledge among young people and increasing vaccine demand in a new situation of COVID-19, and the world thinks about viruses very differently. Our target market is particularly young adults, age 19 to 26, and students. We provide HPV vaccine to protect young adults from getting serious and even deadly disease. Our logo, you can see it right here. Choose this logo because our target market are young people, and this logo can attract them. And our slogan is just stop HPV. Our market analysis, we did some SWOT analysis. Strength, HPV vaccination is very safe. Vaccines are tested before they are recommended for use. It provides long-lasting protection, preventing cancer-causing infections and precancers, and effective. It works like it's supposed to. It's pure. Certain ingredients used during production have been removed, and sterile. It doesn't have any outside germs. Weaknesses today, there are currently only 3 effective HPV vaccines on the market. It's Gardasil, Gardasil 9, and Cervarix. Also, no public health education, high cost of vaccine manufacturing, limited data infrastructure, not needed or necessary, safety concerns, side effects, and not recommended. Opportunities, research and development stimulate the innovation of novel vaccines, funding to the immunization programs, and growing government initiatives for increasing awareness. Threats in all countries, the presence of anti-vaccination campaigns, usually well organized and very active, is seen as the biggest threat to HPV vaccination programs. Concerns voiced on the internet or case stories can be seen by the public as evidence against the vaccine. So we have made a secondary research, and based on the UK's Vaccine Confidence Project, there are signs that opposition to vaccines is diminishing in some countries in the wake of the epidemic. For example, in Italy, one of the countries worst hit by COVID-19, anti-vaccine arguments have virtually disappeared. It's said one virologist cites by Reuters. And also we have some quotes that supported. For instance, if we had a vaccine for this, we would not be locked up in a room, the economies would not be crumbling, we would have been a whole different world. I think it differently is provoking people to rethink a lot of things. It's words of VCP director, Hildur Larsson, and what about the price strategy? Because the HPV immunization is covered as preventive care, it mostly covers student health insurance. Therefore, students who have health insurance can get an injection for 40% off if they go to hospitals or clinic with their personal student ID. However, the customer base is outside our target market. The price will be $200 each dose. So our distribution strategy, we will, since health care providers, both private practices and the public health department were trusted sources and the only distributors of HPV vaccine, we can use them and create an access map of providers and prioritize them based on the number of patients served. And also we can use our personal cars to deliver our vaccine to our patients, especially for long distances. At the same time, we can provide some additional services to the hospitals or clinics that we cooperate with to ensure the smooth distribution process, such as priority supply and a cheaper wholesale price. Our promotion strategy will be, we will use colleges' health lectures. We can cooperate with colleges and read their online lectures to let more students know about HPV and how to prevent it. Actually, we will also plan to add our advertisement for the campus app. We will also create the social media account to introduce the HPV and our product. Many young people spend a lot of time on their social media and they can know about our product through it. Also, we can use hospital or clinics. We are not the only company that can provide the HPV vaccines. However, we can use our business relationships with the hospitals and clinics we had cooperated before. And these strong business relationships will help us gain a special place in the HPV vaccine market. In our plan, we will use the original ways to advertise our vaccines and put up our products poster. A lot of patients will notice the poster. If it may become our indirect promotional channel. And also we can, considering our target market is our students, we can put our advertisement on public transport such as buses, subways, and also we can put it in free local newspapers. We can cooperate with student TV channels to produce educational lectures in order to promote our product. Also, we will create our personal YouTube channel and we'll promote our product there. So that's it.
Oh. Can you go back to your channel slide, please? I want to ask you a couple of questions on that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Channel. No. Channel. Okay. No. Distribution.
Yeah.
Distribution. Yeah. No. 1, 2. There we go. Of these three, hospitals, clinic, retail, pharmacies, in your study, did your group have a preference in terms of which one you thought would be more successful?
We decided to use only hospitals and clinics, which really already distribute of HPV vaccine, and we as far as I put it here, we can create an access map of providers and prioritize them based on the number of patients served.
I see. Okay. We had a client question about, could you clarify more your YouTube strategy? She was interested in that.
Yeah, we would like to create our YouTube channel where we will provide information about HPV disease, like it will be educational lectures. It will be series of educational lectures about HPV, how to prevent it, and we will do it like something interesting for students. We will create some interesting content with different conversations with different specialists, and also students and young people can ask questions, and that's it. So also we can put advertisement there, like before you will watch the video, YouTube video, we can put our advertisement there, and you will see it. So it will be like a small thing.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How many colleges have their own apps?
Actually, we prefer to cover every university or college, but it's not impossible. I will, in my opinion, I will cover few a few main cities, like which is based on our access map, especially for New York City, or Oklahoma, or Florida, or some is very care about the HPV vaccines, the cities, their university or college, because they are maybe pay more attention on the HPV, or they care about the HPV, so they guys is easily to be attracted to to inject the HPV vaccine. That is what I'm saying, what I'm thinking.
So I guess I'm going back. I don't understand apps all that well, but if we looked at the previous app that was done, would that be a way to get the Medline app marketed to all colleges and universities apps that they have just for their students?
Actually, as a example, because like our university, OSU, right? We have a OSU app, so maybe we can connect with the just send the email. That will be easier to connect this problems or not. We have another plan. It's about the Canvas. Everyone use the Canvas, or to say most American students or international students, or to say the who study in the university, they have the Canvas. Almost the people, not all of them. We can just connect the Canvas and then talk to them to add our advertisement on the app. Maybe they can use the when they use the Canvas, they can see our advertisement like that.
So the main goal is that we will read the online lectures, and this will help students know about HPV and how to prevent it. We will do it step by step by providing maybe one lecture per week, and we will put some announcements through email or through this application, and also this application also will contain the detailed information about how to prevent yourself from HPV, what is HPV, and which problems you will have if you will not get a vaccine.
Yeah, let me pop in here. Let me pop in here just a second, because the clients are asking about Canvas, and let me give just a broad description of that. That's really the backbone of it started with newer tech. Started with it's the idea of a virtual blackboard, or it's an organization structure that the students uses, and it's common. All the teachers use it, and we use it as well. It's on the back end. It collects grades. It gives announcements. It to the extent that I'm not sure it's commercially available the way the students are thinking of it, but possibly it's worth looking into, I would say. That would be my opinion. And then we post lectures on Canvas. This one is being recorded, and I can post this. This will automatically be uploaded to my media space, which is I can choose to do what I want with it. Typically, you cannot make the videos public to anybody other than university-related people. The way to do that is I would download it, and then I could upload it to YouTube or something like that. That's the way.
Chuck, I have a question. I have a question for this team.
Yeah.
So Carrie and I had talked about utilizing a template, getting a template specific for Oregon State, and then we could duplicate that around the nation once we got all the kinks worked out at Oregon State. So we could basically, the template could be used on the Canvas, and then that would be easy to replicate in different universities.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be true. The question is the commercialization of the Canvas itself, I think, is probably an administrative sort of thing. Because
does it have, do they mention the meningococcal vaccine on Canvas?
No, there's nothing on Canvas other than it's a tool. I can show you.
Okay.
I can show you what it is. I can tell you there may be problems with not that it's not a great idea, but I did some work internally at Oregon State University with Linus Pauling Institute, and the Linus Pauling Institute is one of the most generically Google-friendly search terms. And I mean, they do they've been publishing for a long time. They've been publishing data on micronutrients and vitamin C. And they're one of all the areas at Oregon State University, they're the ones that come up most generically by Google. It's because they have rich information they publish. So I was working with Fred Stevens, who was the director of the Linus Pauling, to try to do this with Google and AdWords and sort of monetize the site, and that caused a great deal of resistance at the administrative level. So we'd have to get into that, and that brings up a point. I think we should move on to our last one, but I just came up with an idea, because what we're going to do after this class is we're going to break out, and then I'm going to meet with the clients myself, and then what I think we should do is next Thursday, we're going to have our second test, which is going to be easy. It's no big deal. You've had that before. But what I'm thinking of is maybe after I talk offline with the group, maybe we come all back in next Thursday, if everybody can make it, and then we can kind of get a presentation from the group to you guys, because it seems, let's continue. I've got an idea. Let's go on to group number 9, and then I'll finish off. But I think we're heading in the right direction. So group number 9 is up.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
All right, so we're the last group, so just
Yep.
be chill. So our campaign is called the Umbrella Project. We got this idea from this awesome image of Kara's presentation. So our project means that we will embrace all the HPV-related cancers and protect the people loved no matter what their gender is. We think this umbrella symbol, like this little umbrella here, would be perfect for branding and also for overcoming the current HPV campaign's limitation that has only dealt with the cervical cancer of women. So this green and purple umbrella image will be used everywhere for all the events so that people could immediately think of HPV when they see an umbrella, you know, just like the Pavlov's dog effect. Okay, so let me just clarify our target group first. So our target is early 20s university students. And one of the reasons why we have selected this target group is that shockingly, 70% of American adults 18 and older have never heard of HPV. So our goal is to increase the awareness of HPV and our client, of course, HPV-RCC. Okay, so now we're going to talk about branding and promotion strategy. And our client's annual marketing plan would be focused on March 4th. It's an International HPV Awareness Day, and Merck has already tweeted about it, and many nonprofits are trying to increase the awareness of it. So our client will join by holding the big events and campaigns. So the first event that we're proposing is an umbrella parade. It is inspired by the parade of Mardi Gras and the protest of Hong Kong. So if you imagine like a lot of people marching holding green and purple colored umbrellas, maybe with some slogans on it, our group is sure that media will pay attention to this. So we think this could be like a solemn protest or like a really festive event like the queer parade in New York. Okay, so this is our slogan to target men. Real men get vaccinated, protect your lover. Okay, sorry. So think of like a male college student in the man box near you. Like they smoke anyway, they drink anyway. So we think this concept will work for the guys who care about their loved ones more than they care about themselves. So these are our official slogans: man up and get vaccinated, women up and get vaccinated, because we think that women should also be more courageous and overcome this slut-shaming taboo and get vaccinated. Okay, and now I'm gonna talk about our social media strategy. It'll be a two-track strategy. So Instagram and TikTok are to make it viral, and Twitter and YouTube would be for education and fighting the myths and anti-vaxxers. So with Instagram and TikTok, you could hire influencers or make funny challenges. And with Twitter, you could tweet the educational infos and tweet against the anti-vaxxers like directly. And also with YouTube, we think it'll be really funny and might get many views from making a live discussion with anti-vaxxers and maybe like post it on Reddit. Also, we think that sharing a cancer surviving story would be like a strong message to the public. So we think that it'll be really nice to make a storytelling video of the HPV-related survivors, like in a row, like a big campaign. Okay, so this is sample of the Instagram challenge. People could post their pictures after they got a shot with the bandage on it. And for TikTok, like this girl, it is a little bit dorky, but people could post their videos of like dancing with an umbrella and make it a challenge like the Dance the Cancer Out. So TikTok now has a donation sticker function as well, so it could be a platform for fundraising too. Okay, now we're going to talk about college outreach. First, you could distribute the leaflets in the dormitory. I mean, it's the dormitory, it's like the main place for the virus to be transmitted. So we thought that would be a nice place to set up the leaflets. And also seminar and the booth would be nice. And our client could work with the college student health services to send out newsletters and promote the events, and also could collaborate with the various student clubs. And we think that it'd be really nice to work with the LGBTQ club or like racial ethnicity minority groups to address about racial disparity issues of the HPV virus, just like the coronavirus right now. And also our client could do collaborations with the big firms like Durex and The Body Shop, because Durex's marketing is mainly to fight the sexual stigma, So for example, the rest could start this like selfie with the condom challenge for charity like on TikTok or Instagram. Okay, lastly, I'm gonna briefly talk about the distribution and the price strategy to create value for each partner. First, for the manufacturer, as it's like a monopoly market, we can't really do anything about the retail price. So we suggest mobile van for free HPV vaccination and pap smear as CSR project with Merck to increase the brand awareness of Merck. Also for hospitals and doctors, we suggest outreach activities to persuade the doctors to recommend the vaccinations. And also during the research, we found that the reason why the healthcare providers are not willing to recommend the vaccines is because they have to use their own funds, only getting reimbursed after they have administered it to patients. So our client as a nonprofit organization will address this issue by ombudsman activities or like protest activities along with the healthcare providers. All right, so we've actually focused on the retailer clinics such as Walmart. We will work with the retailers to provide a discount coupon or a gift card that could be used for grocery shopping, which could lure more students to visit for vaccine and also for shopping to increase their sales. And the consumers will use this HPV RCC application that has price comparison function. This would give the consumer power to choose where to get vaccinated and make the market more competitive and provide more benefits to the consumers as an ultimate result. Okay, thank you.
Good. I've got a one, and it was more of a point, I think, than a question, but it was it came up during your presentation. And don't you think that the entire because of the cost of because of the economic cost of this pandemic that we're having, don't you think that vaccine pricing probably will change forever from a standpoint that I think that if you look at the cost of this pandemic, I think governments would almost pay people to take a vaccine in that sense, right? I mean, so I'm saying I think the opportunity may be that from a societal standpoint that the whole notion of pricing these things is going to change from here on out. And if we look at that, we might be able to create a model of something for the COVID virus. In other words, if there was some way that Merck could be compensated at their monopoly price, right? If they could be compensated for their monopoly price and somehow we could vaccine 100% of the US population, the government might have an incentive to do that because it would be much lower cost than going through that, and it would eliminate this whole social distancing, human behavior that we're, wearing masks and stuff like that. Because the cost of that is, we haven't even started to cost, because the restaurants haven't come back and they're trying to do it, but humans are gonna, they're gonna want to get back to reality. I guess that's my point. Do you have the same opinion, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. When we were talking about the price strategy, we actually thought that the fundamental solution is that Merck lowering the price, and we really couldn't figure out like how to do that.
Right.
Because during the research, we found that the Merck actually fixed the price in the first place. And when you read this quote, it's the spokesman of Merck, and they actually took the social cost into account in the first place. So we actually thought that it would be really hard to change the retail price. But like you said, if the government pressures them,
well,
give an incentive,
yeah, if
really
the government
effective.
could compensate them, it might be in the government's, it might be a public good. Remember we discussed public good. It might be a public good. If it's a public good that every person, and not for this virus, but let's say the COVID virus, because that's the one that transmits very quickly. It might be in their interest to actually pay everybody to go get virus, because that might be, and I'm just thinking of, as we think about viruses in the future, the society's got to change to become more informative, I think, and that'll be an interesting point. Okay.
Chuck, I think that one of the things, I think you guys are coming on a really good point. Why do we have to pay for vaccines anyway, whatever virus it is, meningococcal, COVID, HPV, because those are spread from person to person. And so maybe the government, you know, they're saying, well, we can go in, should be able to go in and get COVID tested and COVID treatment for free. Well, once we get a vaccine for that, that'll be free, I'm thinking. And why aren't they just making an overall blanket for person-to-person transmitted infections?
Yeah, and we can't solve that problem in this class, right? I mean,
but I think that's something to think about.
And again, thank you. Thanks everybody for their wonderful. It was all very good. I'm very pleased with the presentations, and I think what we want to do is,
Chuck, could we just make a point that if anybody wants to help intern with us, we would love to work with some of these people.
Yeah. And we can have a dialogue with the group right now in the class. Liz, you said you had a couple comments. Did you want to pipe in here?
Yes, I'm absolutely blown away, and I want to thank each one of you. And I don't know where you go forward in your studies, if you're graduating, or no, you're probably not graduating, but staying here at Oregon State. What are you doing over the summer? Some of the thoughts I had is we would love to continue working with each one of you, because if you are going back to your community, either in the United States or internationally, you could be such a vital part of this, since you now understand what we're trying to do. We want to look for interns and help with fundraisers and social media, and then maybe the star power, and then those ambassadors. One of the presentations talked about ambassadors, and would love to see each one of you be one of our ambassadors. So that's all I'm going to